Morning peeps. So we've got to go and sort out Cody's bank card today because our bank is crazy again.
So when we were in the Philippines we had an issue. I tried to book a flight, my bank card was like, hang on a minute, I don't think you're the real Cody. I think you're a fraudster and you're trying to rob it, so I'm going to block the card. So it took like 3 weeks to sort because I couldn't phone anyone. My phone then got blocked. I ended up using Chris's, it finally worked. However, last night went to get the SIM cards out to phone said bank who's blocked my card for booking a flight, and Chris has lost the SIM cards.
No, I haven't.
Yes, he has.
You did.
No. What happened was when we were in Kota Kinabalu, he used the SIM card to get a code which was sent to him in a text message to his English number from PayPal. He then put the SIM card back in the little box that I put it in before we came away. Did he put it back in the little case that it belongs in though, the zip up one? No, he didn't. Did ya?
I did.
No, you never, because it's not there. So then he was like, okay, if it's not in the hotel, you've moved it. And I was like, well, if it is in the hotel, you just didn't put it away. And he went, okay. So I rung the hotel. Shock, it's in the hotel. He didn't put it away. So now we've got no SIM cards, no working bank cards, and no way of contacting the bank. I done a video chat with them last night and they were like, yeah, you need to actually phone us. Why when I'm already on the phone to you? Anyway, I'm fuming about the whole thing, and I'm going to go to a bank here to see if they'll let me phone my bank in England. And it's all a mess. That's it.
All because you didn't put the SIM cards away. Oh, so the heavens opened earlier, we forgot to tell you. It was crazy. But sun's out about half an hour later. That's what we like to see, nice and hot. Look at these puddles, some Borneo puddles right there. Come on, bro, don't jump over this. So before we go anywhere, we just need to share our experiences with you because we didn't take you guys with us.
We just thought that Chris was going to go and stuff his face and that would be that. However, sorted out my bank stuff, so I was in a better mood. Chris was like, I'm starving, so we were like, right, there's curry house, let's go in. And it was an Indian curry house, which obviously he was gonna love because we have an Indian every week at home. And the guy was like, do you want anything? I was like, no thanks. And then he came back over, I was like, don't suppose you have anything with no spice in? He's like, yeah, we have chicken korma. Well, that was it. I was right involved. Gave me chicken korma, I had poppadoms, we had garlic naans. Oh my god, it has to be the best curry, the best korma I've ever had in my life. And I feel like I've eaten for the first time in 2 weeks of being in this country, and I can't tell you, I ate a little bit too much than I should have because I can't really walk now, but I can't tell you how much of a difference it's actually made to my day, being able to just sit somewhere and eat something for a good price, where it's not like a British price where we're paying stupid money. Because last night we went to
Look at
Kenny Rogers.
That's the one.
Yeah, we went to Kenny Rogers last night just because I was like, I really need to eat some substance. I can't eat any more takeaway fast food. And it was nice, but it just wasn't what I wanted. I want to eat Malaysian food, I want to enjoy it, I want to have that as part of my experience, but it's just made me so ill. So even if this makes me ill, yeah, I will take it for the taste of what I just ate. It was absolutely gorgeous. So fingers crossed it doesn't make me ill because I'm sick of being sick. But yeah, just needed to share that with you.
Oh, Hamid's Curry House.
Hamid's Curry House. If you want the location, let us know and we'll send it to you on Instagram or Facebook. We'll just let you know our Instagram, Facebook right now as it pops up. But if you want the location of that, we have Maps.me, and if you also have Maps.me and you want to know where it is, we'll send you the location.
So we've just arrived at the Memorial Park, so we're going to have a little look around and show you what is here. So let's go. I have to roll you around.
Yeah, you
and me, I can't move either.
I'm literally a ball right now.
Right. Sandakan Memorial Park. Come on. So as soon as we walk in, oh, he just flew off. I was going to show you guys a little butterfly, but he's just rat. Oh no, there's loads of them.
This memorial garden, I believe, is in memory of all of the people who died here during the war. I think the Second World War, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to find out as we go around. but it's in memory of all of the people who sacrificed their life, who were prisoners of war, who died in this country, in Sabah, in Malaysia, in Borneo. And my auntie, who actually passed away while we was travelling in 2016, she always used to say that butterflies appear when loved ones are near. And the day my cousin died, which was her son, a butterfly turned up in a living room and died on a bunch of flowers that her son had bought her. And as soon as we walk into the butterfly park, there was 2 butterflies. So it kind of just made me think of them instantly and made me feel a bit emotional, but I think it's very fitting for the area that we're in, what this park represents and what it means, the fact that it's in memory of people who have gone. So we're going to find out a little bit more information about who it's in memory of exactly, and what happened, and all of the history of the place. So we'll let you know as we know. During 1941 and 1942, the Japanese swept through the south, bringing the Second World War to Southeast Asia. In 1942, more than 1,500 Australian prisoners of war were brought to Sandakan by the Japanese and forced to build a military base. In late 1943, there were about 2,500 prisoners at Sandakan, both Australian and British. In January 1945, the first of 3 death marches took place when prisoners were force marched 260 kilometres to Ranau. The marches claimed large numbers of prisoners of war's lives, and at the end of the war only 6 people were still alive, and this is only because they escaped.
C1.
Yeah.
Put the ISO up.
Oh yeah, I know it's fine. Go on.
So when you are walking around the park, there's like a museum-y type place where you can read all the history about what happened. So we took some photos in case you guys wanted to read. There's quite a lot of them, so
it would have took so long to read it all to you.
Yeah, it would have took a long time. So we just decided to take photos, and we'll put the photos in the video, and then if you want to read them, just pause the video and you can read through. But it is really interesting actually.
Really sad what happened.
And I don't think a lot of people know about it either, because we didn't. So we was taking our time to read through and taking the photos for you guys and that, and then the heavens have opened. So
we're going to go back to the car till it stops.
Basically, if we get there in one piece, maybe we should go back in there and wait, I don't know. So, the rain has decided it's had enough.
Stopped. Finally stopped. We're a bit soggy and worse for wear, but the rain's ended. We're gonna go and finish off our little trail. So, skip.
So these was the old water tanks that the people used to use, and then these would be filled with water. Like the Japanese took all the pipes and put them elsewhere, so only the tanks are left. So this is like a massive plaque in remembrance.
I think this is where the tree was.
I think.
Yeah.
So this place kind of reminds us a little bit of when we went to Cambodia. There was a place called what was it called? The Killing Fields, where there was loads of like graves and lots of people died there. And this is very similar, because all the soldiers and prisoners of war had died here. So there's loads of like notifications or plaques scattered around where they tell you information on what happened. So it's
It's very similar.
Yeah.
And they're not graves as in like you see the headstones kind of graves. It's where there was mass burials of people who were killed or died during the struggle of what was going on politically in the country. And obviously it's exactly the same here, just a different set of people, a different government, but still the same strong-headed leaders thinking that they can control like a majority of people. So it's a similar principle, but obviously same effects as well. So it's really sad.
Okay, so this concrete, it looks like a metal, a concrete box, was where they used to store food. Don't know if we're allowed to go right over there, but yeah. Don't you think it's mad that they've made it feel that there's nothing has really happened here? Like, it doesn't feel eerie or...
No, it actually feels really like beautiful and peaceful and calm. Where we've been to these places before, they've kept a lot of the structure of the buildings so that when you go there you can see exactly where everything was, whereas you've got to use your imagination here. There's only like the concrete blocks, and it's hard to imagine that that was a kitchen because you can barely fit 2 people inside. So it really doesn't feel like what happened here happened until you read these things, and then you just get this like horrible feeling, and you've got to try and like imagine it. So I don't know how this video is going to turn out, because it's going to be quite difficult to be able to piece it all together. Maybe we'll have to use like a lot of online pictures and stuff. I'm not sure, but I hope we kind of do it justice, because these things are really important, I feel, to kind of make you understand that when you come traveling, it's not just about the nice beaches and the fun things that you do, that it's about learning history of each place that you are, not only history of the country but history of your own people, because there was a lot of British people that died here, a lot of people from Britain who were prisoners of war, and we're British, so at the same time we're learning about our own culture and our own country's history. So it's really important to open your mind to that kind of stuff when you're travelling. So
I think we've just finished the whole little lap, because I remember seeing this old, I think it's a tractor or something. I remember seeing this when we first come, so I think that is it.
So this is a tractor. It's not what I said it was before. I found a sign which says that it was just it was an opportunity that was taken by one of the prisoners to slow down the construction of the
runway.
By doing so, it was their attempt at sabotaging the whole thing from going ahead. So they've done something to the tractor so that didn't work. But there's also a boiler here which produced steam to help with the electrical, produce electric throughout the camp. So that was also tampered with, and since it broke, it was never moved from this spot. So this is like the actual spot that this was placed and used in during the camp, and it powered 2 separate housing areas for the Japanese. So that's that, really. We are at the end of the trail. It's finished now. It's really interesting. I learned quite a few different things that I already didn't know. The same kind of concept there's a place in Burma which I really want to go to, that also does like a prisoner of war camp, because there was a railway made by the prisoners of war between Burma and Thailand, and they also done the same kind of go slow campaign to try and stop the railway from being built. I actually watched a really amazing film, so if you haven't and you don't really know about any of the things that happened with the British and the Australian prisoners of war, there's a true story. It's called The Railway Man. It's one of the best films I think I've ever seen, and it will make you cry, but the story and the man whose story it is such an incredible person that if you don't know anything, then if you're gonna find anything out, go and watch that film. But we're gonna call it a day here. Let's walk, because we're getting bitten by mosquitoes. We're absolutely shattered. We're soggy because of the rain, and I don't think we're gonna do anything else. So hopefully we do this video justice. It's a bit of a difficult one to make. I think we're gonna leave Sandakan tomorrow and we're gonna head in another direction. So stay with us and see where we end up.